Today on Perth Property Hub, I'll be talking to the co-directors from Express Property Settlements, Jordan and Kerry Newman. It's a mother and son business with over 50 years of experience combined in assisting clients settle on their property purchase. I thought it would be really great today to just start talking with Jordan about exactly what a settlement agent does. So welcome to Perth Property Hub, Jordan.
Thanks, Kerry. Thanks for having me.
And a question I get a lot from my clients especially clients who might not have purchased property before or haven't done a property transaction in a really long time, they often say to me, well, so what does a settlement agent actually do and why do we need them?
Okay, well ultimately, I think our job first and foremost is to handle the transfer of ownership for our seller or buyer. There's quite a few tasks involved in that process. That really is the crux of the job. But inside of that role, we're reviewing the contract. So we're ensuring that our clients are meeting their contractual legislative requirements. We're preparing all the legal documentation to effect the transfer of ownership. We take care of our clients' stamp duty obligations, providing information about the property to our clients, i.e. Information provided by all the relevant departments, Water Corp, Local Council, WA Planning Commission. So information such as where the sewer line runs, zoning of the land, what structures are approved through the council. The WA Planning Commission tell us if there's any planning for your immediate area in the future. Also on the title there might be encumbrances that affect your use of the land. So we can explain what they mean to our clients.
Great.
And then also we're facilitating the settlement process with your bank, with your lender, or maybe with you, with the broker. So we're kind of just handling that whole process for you.
So it's hugely involved really when you think about it.
Yeah, there is a lot involved. It's quite a significant process, so I think it's important to have an experienced and qualified professional handling that for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you were talking about the contractual obligations, what would some of those be?
Yeah, so most contracts would have a set of conditions attached. Typically there'll be timber pest or structural conditions, but also there might be things like electrical, gas, plumbing being in working order, certain structures being approved, notifying buyers of certain encumbrances that might affect the land. There's a host of things, and they do vary considering depending on the real estate agent, what contracts they use, because they all vary. So we can pick that apart for our clients and let them know what that actually means to them.
So you also mentioned the legislative requirements. What's involved with that?
So an example could be, as a seller, there are requirements to have your RCDs and smoke alarms compliant. Also, if the sale price is over a certain amount, there's a requirement to provide a certificate from the ATO to state that you're not a foreign resident, therefore don't have to withhold a portion of the sale price.
Okay.
As a purchaser, you need to make a declaration if you're a foreign resident. There are transfer duty implications as well, so we take care of all of that for you as well.
Wow, so there really is so much for a buyer or a seller to be thinking about.
And if you're not involved in that process on a day-to-day basis, then things change also, so we're up to speed with what's going on. Excellent,
because I know a couple of times myself over my 25 years in this industry, I have occasionally had people who want a self-conveyance.
Yes.
And my experience with that is it has always been an absolute nightmare for everybody when they do that, because we're all, experts in our own areas, and you just can't expect to be across all of these things, and they change too, don't they? Some of the requirements.
It's a rapidly moving industry, and there's always things changing. So we're up to speed on all those changes, and I think it's very important to have a professional who's handling that transaction for you, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Another question I often get from people, particularly again, probably more your first home buyer or people who haven't had a property transaction in a long time, is what happens to the deposit they pay on the contract? Where does that actually go?
Yeah, that's held by the real estate agent until settlement, and then ultimately that will be directed to the seller at settlement as part of the proceeds due to them. So it is held by the real estate agent until the settlement date.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So when you are providing documentation to your client, you do a preliminary settlement statement, and it's got all those figures and everything on there for them, so they can see that.
It's like a breakdown. The financial statement shows how much been paid already, includes adjustment of the rates and taxes between buyer and seller, takes into account stamp duty implications if you're a seller, real estate agent's commission, so it pretty much outline to them if it's a seller how much is due, if it's a buyer how much we need.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Thanks for sharing that. I think that'll be really valuable for people to understand all the different steps in the process and how you can help them. So thanks for being on Perth Property Hub today.
Thanks, Kerry. Cheers.